doing? Are we good? Are we good? Today is a good day, I tell you the truth. And it's another beautiful day that God has given to us. And my face towel, I wet it. And it's a day to be grateful. And guess what? I'm on my way to UN Women. So I'm doing this live with you. So come, let's go together to UN Women. And I believe you enjoy your stay with me throughout today. We're going to stay together from now till when I get finished from UN Women. So come with me. Let's go. Let's go together. I'm finding a way to kind of make this type of stay. So I'm so sorry. It's gonna be rumbling because I'm in a vehicle going to UN Women. So as the car is moving, the camera is going to be wobbling. So you're going to bear with me as it's wobbling. Yeah? Okay. So let's go. Let's go together to UN Women. I have a program there. So I'm not going to be doing much talk. Right? You're going to be watching me as I do the activities of the day. Right? As I say, you're going to bear with me. It's going to be wobbling. Jesus. I'm trying to get a perfect position. I think like this will be fine. So let's go. You and women, with you, with you, and you. You're gonna spend the whole day with me, and it promised to be like very interesting. Oh, Holy Spirit, you with me.
Now, the Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
I love music, especially music that has inspiration in it. This music, the title is Peace in the Storm. Very interesting, so let's go. Peace in the storm. Peace in the storm. You are my shelter and my God, my peace in the storm.
Bluetooth out. The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
I will not be afraid. You are my shelter and my God, my peace in the storm. You are the fourth man in the fire.
in the fire. I will not be afraid. Lord, I praise you. I praise you. I praise you. I praise you in the valley. You are all by yourself. I praise you. I praise you in the valley. Faithful I praise you in the praise you in the valley. All by yourself. I praise you in the praise you in the valley. Faithful Lord, I praise in the mountain, praise you in the valley. God, you are God by yourself. I praise you in the seasons, yeah, I praise you through the fire. I'm faithful God. You are my shepherd, Lord, you God. You said, do not be afraid. Thank you, Jesus. You are my shepherd and my God, my peace in the storm. You are the fourth in the fire. Oh, I will not be afraid. Cannot be afraid because I'm afraid. You are my shepherd and my God. Yes, my peace in the storm. You are the fire in the fire. Oh, I wanna be I praise you in the mountain, praise you in the valley, faithful. Oh, that's so faithful. You are my shepherd and my God, my peace in the storm. The fire's not in the fire. Oh, I will not be afraid. I praise you. I praise you in the mountain. Praise you in the valley. God all by yourself. I praise you in the praise you in the valley. Jesus, God, I praise you in the fire. Unfailing, faithful God. You are my shepherd. You Lord, you guide me. My peace in the storm. The fourth man in this fire. Do not be afraid. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, my Lord Jesus. My Lord Jesus. My Lord Jesus. My Lord Jesus. Oh, Rabashataya. Oh, Rakoto Maseke Boraba Shakatayanati, Masheke Bosatayanata, Rakete Masoko Boraba and my God, my peace in the storm. You are the strong man in the fire. Oh, I will not be afraid. You are my shepherd and my guide. My peace in the storm. You are my footman in the fire. Oh, I will not be afraid. I praise you in the mountain, praise you in the valley, God all by yourself. I praise you in the mountain, praise you in the valley, unchanging, faithful God. You are my shepherd and my guide, my peace in the storm. A fourth man in the fire. Oh, I will not be afraid. Lord, I praise you. Praise you. Valley, God all by yourself. I praise you, mountain, unfailing, faithful God. I praise you in the mountain, praise you in the valley, God all by yourself. I praise you in the mountain, praise you in the valley, unfailing, faithful God. Praise you in the mountain, praise you in the valley. God, you are God all by You are my shepherd and my guide. My peace in this very storm. The fourth man in this fire. You said, do not be afraid. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, my Lord Jesus. Mashikebo Satayanata. Magodoske Bakayanata. Magedo Sakaya Magodo. Kete 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 kete. Malebo Shakataya. Magodo Sakiyanata. Malobo Sakakakakoko. Kekerebe Sekete. Oh, Rabateke Labasoko Bororo. Every stagnation is broken in the name of my Lord Jesus Christ. Oh, Shekebo Satayaba, my peace in the storm. The thought man in the fire. Oh, I will not be afraid. Shepherd and my peace in the storm. You are my rockman in the fire. Oh, I will not be afraid. I praise you in the mountain, praise you in the valley, God all by yourself. I praise you in the mountain, praise you in the valley. I'll say, faithful God. You are my shepherd and my God, my peace in the storm. The fourth man in the fire. Oh, I will not be afraid. Lord, I praise you. I praise you in the praise you in the valley. God all by yourself. I praise you in the mountain. Praise you in the valley. Faithful God. I praise you in the praise you in the valley. God by yourself. I praise you through the mountain, praise you in the valley, set faithful God. Lord, I praise you in the mountain, praise you in the valley. You are God, you are God all by yourself. I praise you, seasons, and I praise you through the fire. I'm faithful God. You are my shepherd. guide me.
My
My
peace
peace
in
in
this
the
very
very
storm.
storm.
The
For
fire
in
this
this
fire.
fire,
He
he
said,
said,
do
do
not
not
be
be afraid. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Fear not. Fear not. Fear not, Peggie. Fear not, Peggie. Fear not. 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 Fear not, Peggie. Fear not. Fear not. Don't be afraid. Fear not. You are my shepherd and my God, my peace in the storm. You are the fourth man in the fire. Oh, I will not be afraid. You are my shepherd and my God, my peace in the storm. You are the fourth man in the fire. Oh, I will not be afraid. I praise you in the mountain, praise you in the valley, God all by yourself. We're here. We are in UN women, UN women, UN women, United Kingdom. United women, UN women.
Mountain first. I praise you in the mountain, praise you in the valley, God all by yourself. I praise you in the mountain, praise you in the valley, God all by yourself. Mm, 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 mm. I will not be afraid. Yeah. Morning. Oh, yeah. Good morning. Jesus. Oh, thank you. Oh, so everyone know my face already. Thank you. Vista. All right. Yeah. Hello. I'm here. Thank you. Come on, Mama. Go. No, it's all good. Cool. Yeah. 5 888 26 5. You Ma? Contact person. Aisha. Aisha Otamitope. Are you registering? It? 147. This look is suspecting, Abi. You're hiding your identity. Today, say your look is suspicious. No, you're hiding your identity. Today is the review. Hello. Hello. No, sir. Oh, dear. Good morning. I have to start another waiting period. Hold on, sir.
No, sit down, sit down. Sit down. We are impressed. Thank you. We can go with the ladies.
Thank you, sir. You guys are gentlemen.
This is iPhone. I don't know iPhone. Oh, the iPhone there, just one thing between the beginning. So I said, go and do research in my brain and then don't embarrass me. Yeah, I can do that, but I didn't mistake. I'm going to do it. My wife put on me. It's on Tuesday. Hey.
Morning. This one.
Sorry.
Oh, thank you, sir. Oh, I'm so privileged to do. morning. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Morning, ma. Thank you. Morning. Morning, love. Thank you. How was your night? Hope your throat is okay now. Why is what is happening? It has stayed for long. Oh. Good morning, ma.
I'm not going to leave. Thank you.
She did. I was looking after your cat. I didn't see you, so I don't say it.
Okay. ECB is independent monetary policy.
It's time for every lunch or to take their tea break. You don't get because it must have finished before they come. So if you know you are going for prayers, you can just tell Chinelo or you can tell me or any of the staff you see around at the back that you are going for prayer, so you can just reserve your lunch for you so you don't miss out. Thank you very much.
You know the name you and me. The name you and me. Go by you. Go by you. By you. I own since 2002. I've been using it for 22. I'm 4 years ago. Quietly. You go buy fake ones. Both fake. Promise. Promise. Not bad. There is another one. There will be recommendation. Oh my God. Nothing is advertised now. As you did, you won't come out. You carry your person. There's what is happening now. Can you advertise?
It's even very good. Even up to 4 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah, open and use. I know you want to carry on. You are not. Open and use before you say it's not right. You want to go and write that.
They cannot write it.
It's a woman. Enhancing women own business in public and private procurement.
The
For men,
it's just everybody stand up for it.
We're here to do.
This is the technical advisor to the Minister of Women Affairs. Please, you're welcome, sir.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the UN House. Sir, since you're here and we are both partners, I'll give you the permission, or rather, do us the honors to do an opening speech. Thanks.
You came right on time.
Please, let's sit down. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. want to commend what the UN Women has been doing for the past 2 weeks. Very commendable. The NDC Gender Toolkit launch and the question of gender is very important, and we're here to always support this initiative. And I would like to take my seats. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. You're welcome. My name is Mrs. Okochukwu. Please, give your indulgence. My throat, I've been talking since last week, and I think I've reached my limits. But I know I have technical support. There are people here that have been here since last week as well. So if this throat gets to that limit that you can't hear me, give the microphone to them. They know themselves. So my name is Mrs. Ogochukwu Kemesia, and I work for the UN Women as a consultant for the development of these toolkits. We are all welcome to this capacity building. It started last week with the launch of the toolkit on Monday, last week Monday. After the launch, we had a series of capacity building covering all the thematic areas that was captured in the toolkit from agriculture sector, water sector, waste and circular economy, industry, energy and power. And today we'll be having we'll be looking into the oil and gas sector. So, having said that, we'd like to get to know each other, and we'll proceed from there. Starting from you, ma'am.
Good morning, all. My name is Naren Jabin from the National Bureau of Statistics. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ifon Peter from Federal Ministry of Environment, Ground Building.
I'm Bola Sarah from Federal Ministry of
I'm Jamila Shamsuddin from Federal Ministry of Environment.
Good morning, I'm Chambadi Lasha, Federal Ministry of Environment.
Good morning, all. Emmanuel Oborisi from National Bureau of Statistics.
Good morning, all. I'm Dr. Kesena Kwabiri, Project Coordinator from Conte Global Agri Limited.
Good morning, all. I am Onoha Emmanuel from the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs.
Good morning, all. My name is Ibrahim Alemedi from the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs.
Good morning. My name is Prince. I'm Prince Xavier Iyamba, Senior Technical Advisor on Climate Change and Green Economy to the Minister of Women Affairs. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Maliki from Share Commodity.
Good morning, all. I'm Kazi Chioma from the Nigerian Integrated Water Resources Management Commission.
On the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria.
Good morning, all.
The MDA wrote you must stop today.
Sorry.
You must stop today.
Sorry.
It must stop. It must stop today. It doesn't have option. Stop today. It doesn't have option.
Of course, because you're the one in charge. Of course, because you're the one in charge.
Yes. So, not mainstreaming gender in this. Even the ones that you've got for officers, gender focused persons, want to know experience. So experience, I said, please, I want this to be engaging, interactive, and also we have the opportunity to network. We are not just going to come here, look at each other's face, talk, and then go. Because this training, this will come as we have introduced the technical advisor to the Minister of Women Affairs. We believe that most of you will collect his contacts because they have a lot of projects they are doing, and we are encouraging each and every one of us to network. As we go on, as we move on, I'll be citing some people here that we need to connect this movement area with. So having said that, let's move on. We'll go through our agenda for this program. I believe we're all seeing it from the back. Okay. So, we're supposed to have started, so don't mind the time. Accurate timekeeper. Auntie, you'll be the accurate timekeeper. So, 12:30, we'll go for a break. Okay. So, capacity building, gender responsive environmental safeguards, and just transition. We started with the opening and welcome and introduction. We are going to go through overview of Nigeria's NDCs, LT, BTR, ETF, and then the toolkit is divided into 5 phases. I mentioned previously that it was launched on Monday, and we are going to look into these 5 phases in detail. The first phase is scorecard, the mandate mapping template, stakeholder function template, and all we'll see it as we move forward. Then we have the phase 2, which is the planning tools, and this gives you a translating diagnostic into template and the stakeholder engagement matrix template. You have also the inclusion scorecard and others. The first 3 is the budgeting and finance. I mentioned that this is not only for field officers, this is not only for gender focal persons. This tool also equips the account officers, the planning officers, those that work in budgeting, so that whatever budget they are doing is done with gender lens. And also, even with the ICT, because the phase 4 it gives you insights and checklist templates on mainstreaming gender during execution of projects. And then the phase 5 is on MRV and reporting tools, where you have templates, checklists, and tools for tracking and reporting the results or outcome of your projects. I would want to start.
Are we doing all like that today, please?
I don't, maybe you ask Mr. Promise. Normally, Aisha's supposed to send the link. Okay, I would want to say that this document is not a policy document. It is not a policy document, and this is a capacity building, not a validatory workshop. So, this capacity building is to introduce you to a tool that UN Women developed in order to mainstream gender. And they did it in collaboration with the National Council on Climate Change. After doing an assessment, they realized that this gender mainstreaming that I'm talking about Everybody's just talking about it, but the processes or the guide or a tool to enable you to properly mainstream. Okay, so this pre-assessment test will help us to know where we are individually, knowledge, and you don't need to write it, you can just answer. So I'll read out the question, I'll answer either yes or no. Number one, have you ever participated in or contributed to the NDC, that's the Nigeria's Nationally Determined Contribution Implementation Process, or related climate policy activities? Have any of us, have we participated in NDC implementation process? Anybody? Okay, no hands up. So most of us, maybe some of us, but most of us have not applied in the oil and gas sector, particularly regarding pollution control and decommission. Yes, okay. We are seeing that have actually done that. Okay. Do you know what it means to mainstream gender into environmental and just transition programs? Do we know? Okay, some of us don't. Okay. Number 4, have you previously used any gender responsive tools such as diagnostic scorecards or MRV indicators in your organization? Have we? Okay, I can see somebody that said so. Okay, is your institution currently integrating gender consideration into budgeting, project design, or reporting under the NDC 3.0 or LT-led framework? Okay, moving on. Are you aware of how data collected from oil host communities, including women's participation or exposure risk, can feed into the BTR or ETF? That's the Enhanced Transparency Framework. Are we aware how these data are utilized? Okay. Have you ever participated in a capacity building or training section focused on gender in the context of oil and gas sector? Have any of us participated in any training that has to do with gender and oil and gas? Okay, so what this pre-assessment test helps us to know, to know our knowledge gap, okay, and our organization capacity gap. So we are seeing that some of us here, we have not actually participated in any NDC implementation process. We don't know the meaning of ETF or PTR or NDC, but just know that it's just terminology. You are aware, but you know it, but maybe because of the term, you don't know that is what, when I was in EA department, before I left to National Council of Climate Change, when I joined National Council of Climate Change, they were just calling, we are going to do NDC process, the PTR report, the ET. I said, people should be coming down now. What is this? People just be causing havoc for IBP for us. But within just few weeks, like, you see this, I was just warning them. And so just calm down. This is what we have been doing. It's just that you don't know that is the name it is called. So we'll move ahead to, so what, like I said, this pre-assessment test, now by the end of this training, you will know all these questions, you know the answer to all these questions. Okay, so let's move on. Like I mentioned, I'm going to take it, not too slow, not too fast, explain it so that we'll all be on the same page. If you have any question, feel free to ask. If you have any comment, please, we'll be very, very glad, at least to save me a small time to rest my throat, to hear from you. Okay, the context brief, I'm going to read and explain. Are we seeing it from the back? We're seeing it from the back. Okay, thank you. So, the brief on gender responsive environmental safeguard and just transition toolkit. Nigeria's oil and gas industry is the heart of nation's economy, but it also produces serious environmental and social challenges, from gas flaring and oil spill to community displacement and pollution. These problems affect everyone, but women, especially those living in oil-producing areas, and they are often most affected. So they face health risks, loss of livelihood, exclusion from important decisions about how these resources are used and how benefits are shared. So the Gender Responsive Environmental Safeguard and Just Transition Toolkit was created to fix this balance. So it provides practical steps, tools, templates to ensure that women and men both benefit from environmental reforms and the shift towards a cleaner, fairer energy future. So this supports the Nigeria's commitment to reduce emission under the nationally determined contribution, NDC 3.0. That's the third submission of NDC 3.0. And long-term low emission goals, that's the LT-led, by making sure gender equality is part of all climate and environmental actions. So this toolkit is designed for ministries, oil and gas regulators, companies, host communities, leaders, civil society groups, and development partners. So it helps them to integrate gender into everyday work, from environmental impact assessments and host community development planning to the commissioning of oil facilities and new clean energy initiatives. So I know we have most of us here that are in environmental assessment department. So why one of the things that made UN Women to invite you here is because they know that you have direct contact or direct connection with oil and gas companies and even private sectors, and especially private sectors that felt that when it comes to gender mainstreaming, that, and no private sector, when it is not bringing in revenue, anything that is not bringing in money, they don't want to spend money in that thing. So the EA department was invited solely because of this, because the UN Women knew that they are backed by law, by the EIA Act, to monitor and regulate projects in different sectors throughout the life cycle of that project. So we are believing that you as an officer in the EA, as you are going back after this capacity building, you'll be able to let those companies know that there is what is called the NDC, which is a national commitment. As we go down through this training, you see what the Nigeria is committed to and their responsibility. And I believe that after this training, we'll be able to give a proper recommendation on how to make a headway in mainstreaming gender in the oil and gas sector. So, this toolkit aligns with the national and international laws and policy, starting from the National Climate Change Act, the National Gender Policy, the NAPGCC, and the UNFCCC Gender Action Plan and the ILO Job Transition Guideline. So at its core, the toolkit shows that climate solutions are not just about technology, they are about people. So it provides a ready-to-use resources that you could use to diagnose gender, like the gender diagnostic checklist, which will help you to identify community and institutional gap, budget tagging templates that will help you to track funding for women-focused initiatives, and MRV indicators that will help you to measure gender results. Also, it gives you forms like the digital data forms, like the QR or Kobo2 bots, or even the Power BI dashboard, which the UN Women is encouraging MDAs to actually initiate and implement, because during the assessment, the UN Women didn't just jump into development of toolkits. They started with assessment. We did a whole lot of validatory, stakeholders workshop and focus group meetings, and we realized that most MDAs work in silo, and data is not being exchanged, even though we have the Freedom of Information Bill, which has been passed, but it is not really accessible. You have to get to those departments or those ministries that you are looking for data before you can even access it, and you go through a lot of bureaucracies, and maybe as somebody in NGO or so, you get tired of the whole come today, come tomorrow, and then forget about it. So we need data, and data helps Nigeria to report, to the UNFCCC, for the UNFCCC to make better informed decisions for us. As you go on, you will understand what I'm talking about. So we are encouraging FDAs to actually sync their information, their data. Some of us don't have. We have not been particularly paying attention to data that mainstream gender. Some of us have actually done that, but the data is not accessible and have not been sent or submitted to National Council on Climate Change. So these are the gaps that we realized, we observed, and this is what led to the development of these toolkits. Also, the toolkit also has scorecards and inclusion matrices. The scorecard is a tool that it helps you to know if actually your policy is gender responsive. So some of us come from organizations, and when I talk about gender, I'm not talking about just women. Gender covers also the vulnerable. It covers the IDPs, internally displaced persons. So, and the youth as well. So, it's not just women. So you can see that with the scorecard, you will be able to audit your policy and know if your policy is gender responsive. And then you'll be able to set a target for the organization. Moving forward, the toolkit helps agencies and companies plan, implement, and report on gender responsive environmental safeguards. So it helps us to plan, it helps us to implement and report. That report is very, very important, because we are not reporting nationally, we are reporting internationally. And when you don't give proper reports, or your report is not based on data, then when the international body, we are talking in the context of climate change, and the international body in charge of climate change is the UNFCCC, and all countries, not all countries per se, most countries they believe that really that we need to mitigate climate change. We need to put down measures that will help us to ameliorate the effect of climate change. So they decided to sign the Paris Agreement. So now, the Paris Agreement is that law that guides all countries that are interested in mitigating climate change to put down commitments, okay, by 2025, we expect to have planted 2 billion trees, which, when you plant trees, it helps with carbon sequestration. So these are certain, this commitment, but it's not a must. But Nigeria is a part of that agreement. Countries like the US, Trump, we know that Trump said that there's nothing like climate change. If people be doing climate change, he is not part of this, and so the country is not part of this. Then you also have the LT-led, which after signing the agreement, you will develop and submit your NDCs, which is the nationally determined contribution. Now that is the commitment, okay, which you will now submit to the UNFCCC, the governing body. And when you submit it, after submitting it, you'll be able to have access to funds. So that is the secret. That is why most developing countries are interested in this Paris Agreement, because it gives you access to funds. So if, for instance, Nigeria, from the pre-assessment test, we are seeing that most of us, we don't really submit our data. Maybe we have, but we don't submit it, or there is no dashboard to even assess it. And the National Council of Climate Change, which is the authority representing Nigeria in climate change, goes on to submit something that is half-baked to UN. That means the money, the fund that Nigeria will have access to will be limited. So you are understanding why, when we talk about MRV reporting, that reporting on gender responsive environmental service, see why it is very important. Having said that, so in simple terms, this toolkit is a guidebook. It's a guidebook. It's going to help institutions make gender equality a normal, measurable part of oil and gas governance. It ensures that as Nigeria moves towards cleaner energy, no one is left behind, especially the women, youth in communities most affected by climate and environmental impacts. Okay, so the training objectives. So in this training, it's going to help you to understand what gender responsive environmental safeguard mean and why they are essential in Nigeria's oil and gas sector. It's going to help you learn how to apply this toolkit in your daily work, covering both the 5 phases of the toolkit, and then it's going to help you identify gender gaps in pollution control, community benefits, workforce participation within oil communities. This toolkit will also be able to use the tools and the templates to plan inclusive projects and track results and reports using the MRV system. You'll be able to understand how this works, how this work supports the Nigeria's NDC 3.0. Actually, this year, this NDC 3.0 that we're talking about, which is a national commitment, it was just submitted last month, and Nigeria is the first African country in the whole of West Africa to submit their NDC. Clap now. It's an achievement. Let's clap. You know when Nigeria hear money matter, did you people say, are you sure that money is going to come if we submit it? Oh, yeah. Oh, everybody. So it's the National Council on Climate Change that actually championed it, but in collaboration with all MDAs. So they cannot just go and submit anything. So they met, they dispersed information that the NDC 3.0 will be reviewing it, and then they now started getting contributions from Ministry of Agri, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Water Resources. So all in the NDC, all sectors are covered. And then the major ministry in charge of that sector is the one that will submit their commitment, and then after a validatory workshop that everybody will say, okay, my submission has been captured, the NCCC will collate everything, submit it to the FEC, that's the Federal Executive Council, and then they will approve it, that they will carry it and then submit to UNFCCC. So yeah, I think we are understanding how it goes. So this NDC is now what the toolkit was developed in line with. Okay? Because the previous NDCs, this submission of NDC started, I think, in 2015. The first, Nigeria submitted their first NDC in 2015, and you submit it every five years. So the first and the second NDC did not capture gender at all. There is nothing like vulnerable people there, or it's just like a mention, okay, that they'll be taken care of, something like that. So, but you know, when you do such things, you think it does not have a big impact. It has a very big impact, because when they are deciding and apportioning funds for gender responsive projects, Nigeria will not have anything. So that is why most of the funds you see from UNFCCC as of previous NDCs, we're just targeting what we submitted. So, but with this NDC 3.0, it was a tough fight, but we came out victorious. You know, we made sure, the UN women made sure that they submitted a holistic projections, which NDC, the consultants and other National Council on Climate Change actually accepted. But it was very, very difficult because, you know, like I mentioned, in our various MDAs, we don't have the gender focal points institutionalized, okay? We just do our thing. In water sector, they will just be doing their wash. In EIA, they will just be doing their thing, you know? But data is not coming out as regards gender mainstreaming. So, when we actually, as the UN Women, actually reached out to representatives of various ministries that they are in charge of submitting their NDC's commitment, we reached out to them. Please, that make because it's quite easy to reach out to people you know, that reaching out to the consultant, which is who is a foreigner. So we reached out to them. Okay, please, this your submission, please help us. Make it gender responsive. You know what they want to make it real. These people have come in. And people have carried this women thing. We have our own submission. You should do your own. I'm telling you, that's what happened. And at the end, in short, almost all of them said they are not going to. That they have their own. Everybody should do their own thing. And then they will say that it's void of women affairs. Women affairs are submitting gender. They are submitting. But the thing is that when it comes to gender, it cuts across all sectors, both industries. Somebody was saying that from our assessment, it showed that there are a lot of women in the mining sector. this person is from Budget and National Planning. But when they were doing their budget, they didn't have that data. And she was shocked that if they had this data, they would have made proper provision for women in mining. So you are seeing the gaps, the barriers. So, but after the whole fight, we held the consultant on the neck, said, this is this and this. You must make it gender. All our submission, we have to submit on behalf of, based on UN Women cuts across. So we submitted for water, we submitted for agri, we submitted. They say, how you people want? We push. And the man gave up. And he accepted all our submission, and NDC 3.0 is now gender responsive. Please clap for UN Women. It was a tough fight, but the good thing and why I'm happy about it is that because it is now gender responsive, you'll be seeing a lot of projects that is gender responsive, targeting gender. As somebody from CSO or NGOs, you have a lot of projects, you grants you can access that they will tell you that this one they are targeting 80% women. So if you are in that field, you'll be able to get fund, even for MDAs too, that keep on saying they don't have money to do this, money to do that, no money. Now, there's money. All you need is to use these tools. So as we are reading that, you will see tools that will help you to access this fund. So this is the small story about NDC 3.0. So moving on. Okay, we've talked about the training objective. So gender and overview. So the toolkit, the approach is to ensure that as Nigeria reduces emission and move towards cleaner energy, both men and women are equally involved and benefit fairly. In the oil-producing areas, women often face the worst effects of gas flaring, oil spill, and land degradation, yet they have the least say in decision-making or access to compensation. Then these two key helps to correct those imbalances by showing how to include gender consideration in all environmental and energy action. We all agree to this, right? We agree to this because you see, most of us that do field work in the oil and gas sector, you see that it is male dominated. In short, if they want to employ women, it will be for cleaner or errand this thing. And then they don't even look at the disabled at all. They'll tell you, no, this work is not, you have to be capable. But there are actually no jobs that they can do. So you are seeing that at the moment, well, not at the moment, right now, we are campaigning and pushing that the oil and gas sector should be gender responsive. Let me share a story. Something that just happened this week. I mentioned it yesterday. Somebody in the oil and gas sector whom I know, a man, he's in their HR. He does a lot of interviews. So when I posted this on my status, like, what is this all about? Gender mainstream in oil and gas sector and all that. So I started talking to him what it is and all that. Then later he called me and said, see what happened though? That he never knew that they are gender biased. It's a big company, a big oil and gas company. So it happened that they were now doing one of those series of plenty interviews, and out of about 8 candidates, it's only one woman that's supposed to interview for that particular position. But because I have given him like a pro knowledge of what gender mainstreaming is all about, he said that the woman, that he didn't know why, the woman wasn't able to come up for the online interview. So he kept on saying, are you sure that you sent that email? Are you sure? You should look for her number. Send her text message. He kept on, talking about it after they have finished interviewing the 7 men. And then the madam, not the girl, his own madam, who is a woman, was not asking him, what? This person, is it your sister? Why are you so, you want, is there anything? Say, no, madam, that we need to be gender responsive. We need to take decisions that are gender responsive. He now started educating madam, that you see that this, our interview, the selection is not gender balanced. So just because of these 2 kids, just because I mentioned or told him about it, he was able to initiate that decision. And from now on, they said that whatever interview they're going to do, it has to be gender balanced. So this is just word of mouth. This is not the one that we are going to go back and really, implement with the backing of the law. This one is word of mouth. And you can see that gender balance must not necessarily mean that a woman should be in the decision body. Because it's part of it, but not necessarily. Because here we have a madam who is not aware. Somebody, when we were doing circular economy training, somebody in the Ministry of Environment told us that the policy on waste, the one they're going to review, I know about it, does not have anything that has to do with gender in it. But the minister, as of then, was a woman. The director in charge of the department that reviews the policy was a woman. So what happened? That they omitted that importance. What happened? Because they don't have the 2 kids to, to remind them. Some of us feel, okay, we are experts. We know it. We know it all. My dear, by the time the economy enter your head, you will forget what you need to do. So what the 2 kids does for you is to remind you of what you need to do at every given point, in your, whether in the field or in decision making and all that. So this is, in caps, what the 2 kids does for you. So linking it to the NDC, the Nigeria's NDC 3.0 outlines the country's target for cutting greenhouse gas emission by up to 47% by 2030. So, I mentioned that the NDC is 5 years. So, by 2030, that's the next 5 years, Nigeria has committed to cut their GHG gas emission by 47%. The 2 kids now support this goal by helping policymakers and companies to integrate gender into emission reduction programs and community development projects. So it will also help ensure women are represented in energy decision making. It will also help to ensure women are represented in energy decision making and host community trust funds, and also design safeguards that protect women and children from pollution and livelihood loss. Then the LTLED, that's the long-term low emission development strategy. So the long-term low emissions development strategy has to do with the long-term strategy that Nigeria has put in place to make sure that they meet up with climate change mitigation. So now, NDC is 5 years, LT-led long-term to 2060. So it provides Nigeria's long-term plan for achieving low carbon economy by 2060. So a just transition means that workers and communities dependent on oil and gas are not left behind as cleaner energy system emerge. So this toolkit promotes gender-sensitive just transition strategies, such as reskilling women and youth from fossil-based jobs into clean energy roles, ensuring women benefit from renewable energy investments, not just men, and including women cooperatives in local content and environmental restoration. So apart from this toolkit, UN Women also have their own strategy, which is also in line with this LT-led, the Nigeria's LT-led. This was presented during the launch, and let me show us a part of it, so that we'll be aware that this training is not just ending now. It's not ending today. We are looking at achieving our aim by 2060. So the UN Women, I believe we've all seen it from the back. So this side, UN Women, after the assessment, they did a whole lot of assessments, and let me show you a brief summary of the assessments. After noticing the gap, that I've been stating previously, UN Women anchored their strategy on 7 strategic pillars. These are where the gaps are noticed: in policy and legal alignment, institutional strengthening, finance and budgeting, MRV and data system, capacity building, just transition safeguard, and community engagement. So you can see these charts. This chart is a radar chart, and it is showing you see the blue line inside. The blue line inside is where Nigeria is right now. That's the baseline. So after the assessment, we realized that policy, when it comes to policy, we are in just 3. So the blue line is the baseline. The dotted green line is a target that the UN Women aligning their strategic pillars with the Nigeria's LT is expected to reach. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The assessment shows that our policy, we have policies, but most of the policies are not gender responsive, and it is mapped at 3. And with all we are doing right now, we are targeting that by before 2060, at least policy and legal alignment, most of our policy will be gender responsive. So at least it will be around 4. Okay? Then you will see the institutional strengthening. We all know that most of us here, I believe, some of us are gender focal persons, some of us are not, which is a very big problem, because gender is not just a message, it's not talk. You have to really implement it. Action. So some of us here in our organization will have only you. You are the gender focal person. Maybe because you want to cover all coverables, you want to cover everything. They will have maybe 5 meetings in a day that has to do with gender. Then you will not tell anybody. You will not carry anybody along. You will go to NAV Center for that meeting. You will sign. You will go to UN. You will sign. You will go to Secretariat. You will sign. You are not participating in anyone. No. You are just signing for that one that will go by the side. But at the end, you are not helping us. You are not helping the what they call it, the movement. I mean, what they call this, the ministry. The ministry to move. You are not helping us to move. You are just eating alone and killing the mission. So after the assessment, we realized that institutional strengthening is very important. In our organizations, we lack gender focal points. Either they are few or they are not at all. And then somebody, maybe you are just one, and then you are in what they call it, gas department, and they are taking decision on what they call it, crude oil, whatever department. You will not know. You will not know what they are doing there. But what we are looking at and what we are encouraging us to recommend and to implement is, one, as we go back to our organization, we should audit our policies. Let's see if it is gender responsive. Because if you go back and you don't have a gender responsive policy and you are doing recommendation, it's dead at arrival. You no footing, no foundation. So first of all, you need to use the toolkit and audit your policies and be sure that, first of all, that it is gender responsive, that gender is well captured there. Then you can now recommend that for every project, whether it is oil and gas, whether it's agriculture, wherever your organization is, whether it's private sector, every project must have a gender focal person. That is how you will be able to make informed decisions. Even as you are going back, you are expected to bring up the ICT, the budget officers, all of them. They need to know that even the procurement, we were looking at industry yesterday, we found out that there are a whole lot of gaps in procurement because they don't know that their procurement decisions have to be gender responsive. So because of that, they will just make their procurement. Somebody was saying it in transport, that most of the BTR buses that they bring in, that it does not have a vulnerable a chair for vulnerable people, disabled people. It does not have ramp. If you want to use wheelchair now and move, it does not have. Why? Because the minister have signed though. It's not his job. Account has made, the money is there. Now the procurement officer supposed to know that there are criteria, because in procurement they have the pro forma invoice. And if a contractor is said, okay, we are going to supply BTR buses, and then they will give you criteria. He must have this, he must have AC, he must have this and this and TV. So they will even put the one that has TV. But the one that will support and help the disabled, they don't know about it. They might know, but they will forget. Are you seeing it? So these are the reasons why we need institutional strengthening. These are the reasons why it must not only be you that will go back and still be championing gender in your anything gender. Say, is this person? Gender is this person. Gender is. It's not. It cannot work. At this point in time, that we have an NDC that is gender responsive, we need all departments to have a gender focused person. Because it's not just to make an informed decision, you are going to be bringing data. We talked about data that will make NCCC to submit a BTR or ETF that is gender responsive. So it has a lot of, it goes a long way, not just for us or for our organization, but for the people that are looking up to us, the communities, the youth, to make better decisions. So from the radar chart, you are seeing the target, the green dotted lines, and the baseline, the blue line, where we are capacity and skill. Let me talk about capacity and skill. Capacity and skill is a trait. You cannot, talking about procurement persons or finance persons, you cannot say, okay, so gender, we talked about gender today in UN House, and this is the tool. You have to, he said, what are you talking about? He will not understand you. He needs to be well tutored, continuous training the trainer. So there is a gap there, capacity and skill. And then you will recommend to your boss, and your boss said there is no money. They said there is no budget for it. Before Uncle, there won't be budget for it because they did not even do it on a budget on a gender lens. But the good thing and the good news is that with the NDC 3.0, an MDA, any MDA can seek for fund from UN, donors, GCF, UNFCCC for capacity building, and they will get it. In short, capacity building from experience is one of the low-hanging fruits that they like to sponsor. So even you will use one stone to kill two birds. How they say, one stone to kill two birds, right? So instead of you going from here to here, signing and signing, just do proposal. Hit it, shoot your shot, get the fund. It will enter here. You are campaigning. Our mission is moving. Your pocket is increasing. Is it not better? So, what am I saying in a sense? All these strategic pillars are what you and women have seen the gap in, and they have aligned their own strategic pillar on the LT leg of Nigeria. So they are looking at that by 2060, they are having an LT leg that is inclusive, gender responsive institutional policy and social framework. So this year, you can see 2025 now, the target there is to get our NDC to be gender responsive, which we have achieved. Then GFP, that gender focused persons institutionalization, which is the essence of this capacity training. Okay? And then the toolkit piloting, some of us that maybe we already have gender institutionalization in our different MDAs, we can just move into piloting the toolkit, using it in our different projects, okay? Some of us that there is nothing like gender committee or gender in department or whatever, you know that what we are equipping you right now is to go back and implement, let there be gender focal points in all departments, attached to all projects in your MDS. Then you have the MRV and finance toolkit operational. We are looking at having the next NDC to also be gender responsive. We don't want to suffer the suffer that we suffered this time around. We want the next time your representative, because this representative from MDAs, they don't just submit to NCCC their commitments. What they do is they do memo all departments, bring your submission. So when you see by next 2030, they want to do another NDC, and they memo all departments. By that time, there will be gender focal points in all departments. So as this one is bringing, UN women will have less headache. So that is the target for 2025. And then it moves on by 2040, 2050, 2060. So you see, UN women, they are not joking. Please clap for them. I want you to be hearing them, because it's not so many people run away from this type of thing. Okay, they don't know where to start, how to go about it. But UN women deemed it fit and important to take up. So moving back to our training manual, the ETF is the Enhanced Transparency Framework. So ETF is the report. It's a report. It's under the Paris Agreement, requiring all countries to track and report progress on emission, adaptation, and finance. So this is submitted every 2 years. So the toolkit provides MRV-ready indicators and digital data tools so that agencies and companies can report on gender disaggregated results, such as the number of women trained, employed, because from the NDC, okay, you assess fund. So when you assess fund, you'll be able to report how you use that fund. That is the ETF. Now, like I mentioned, in our departments, in our ministries, there are ministries that are, it's the ministries that are normally the ones that submit this report to National Council on Climate Change. But the thing is that in that ministry, because I'm talking from experience that I have in the ministry, in that ministry, taking for instance, in environment, the department in charge of climate change is Department of Climate Change. And when they are taking decision, pollution control is not aware. Yes, they are in charge of climate. I'm talking of Ministry of Environment. In Ministry of Environment, am I right?
Yeah, right.
So in Ministry of Environment, the department in charge of climate change is the Department of Climate Change, DCC. Now, when they are taking decision, please, do they tell you people, EA? Do they don't. Even pollution control, they are not aware. Everybody is running their thing. But the truth is that EA has data to submit. If they are able to access fund based on the NDC, they have data they have reports to submit. Pollution Control Department has reports also to submit. Based if they are able to access fund from UNFCCC. So if they access this fund, which they will, because when UNFCCC is giving funds, they don't give to departments, they give to thematic areas. Okay, so they will say there are funds under environmental sector. Then the government of Nigeria will apply for the fund, and then they will memo it or minute it to the director in charge of that sector, so they can access fund to reduce greenhouse gases, and they will say the department in charge is pollution control. Then pollution control would use that fund that came from UNFCCC to implement projects. Then when it's time for Department of Climate Change to collect and submit to National Council on Climate Change data and report that supports how they used the money. And they don't communicate to pollution control, you see the gap. Then these people will now be asking, but we gave you $50,000 billion, but you are reporting less than what we gave you. Where did the money go to? That kind of question. And then because of that, instead of giving you $50 million next year, or even more next year, they say the reporting is kind of somehow they are not truthful. Then they will give you maybe $10 million because there are gaps in the report. Why? Because we are not working together. So, how can we mitigate this? Now, UNFCCC are bringing out themselves. At this point in time, the PTR is ongoing. National Council on Climate Change, they are about to submit the PTR. And, of course, every other sectors they are submitting. They are working with them. And of course, it's not going to be gender responsive because we just made the NDC 3.0 gender responsive. So we are hoping that by 2030, that we must have institutionalized gender focal points in all our MDAs, organizations, and we are able to access fund, and we already have clusters. It will be easy if DCC submits reports that are not complete. You can easily submit it to the Secretariat of UN Women, and UN Women will send it to the National Council on Climate Change. So they are working as a support, okay, to make sure that our report is correct, up to date. So this is what ETF is all about, the Enhanced Transparency Framework, to track and report progress on emission, adaptation, and finance. And then, I think I've read this, the report, it helps you report on gender disaggregated results. All this is based on context of oil and gas, because it's not only for oil and gas. They report across all thematic areas. So for this oil and gas, the ETF will help you to measure the gender impact of oil sector reforms and environmental cleanups, and then feed this information into national climate reports. BTR. The BTR is the national report submitted every 2 years to the UNFCCC. Sorry, BTR is 2 years, not ETF. So the BTR is a biennial transparency report, and it is submitted to the UNFCCC showing Nigeria's climate progress. So by using this toolkit, agencies or companies will be able to contribute accurate data as regards to gender responsive safeguards, oil operations, inclusion in community benefits program, and then progress towards gender balanced climate action. So without gender responsive planning, many environmental and transition projects fail to address real social needs. Women may continue to lose land, health, and livelihood even when climate goals are met. This toolkit bridges the gap. It ensures that environmental progress also delivers fairness, inclusion, and shared prosperity. So I will stop here. Do we have any question or any comment? Is it very clear what NDC is all about, what is expected of us, and what ETF or BTR is all about, and how it is done? Any question on that or comments? I like questions. Because you know when somebody asks questions, it might be still the same question you need to ask. Sorry, so just sit down. Yeah, you like to stand. Okay.
I want to really appreciate you, Ma, for this presentation. Mine is from the brief, just before the framing objective. You were talking about the SDG goal, leaving no one behind. And when you were talking about the vulnerable groups, you mentioned women, and from women you move to youth. I'm also looking at the aspect of the children and the elderly, that we need to actually capture them properly, so that when we are talking about implementing NDC, we'll be able to make sure we do not leave anybody behind. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Both the elderly, both the elderly, the children, the vulnerables, the internally displaced persons, all of them are captured. And you know that with women, once a woman is okay, the children are okay. Is it not true? Once we hold, everybody go, everybody go just, the stew will be stewing well, and the rice will be boiling very well. But once you are targeting only men, the men will say, the burden is too much, madam, find something to do. But women, that's why yesterday somebody was saying women matter, but at the end we baptized her. Is it yesterday or the before yesterday? We were able to baptize the guy. The man was like, that even if we are talking about gender, it must not be 50-50 or 40-50. We can give people maybe say no. That is in the past. You're talking of the past. Now we want you to encourage gender, encourage women. The fact and the truth is that if you don't encourage your wife, you are still depriving yourself from accessing whatever benefits your wife will bring on board. Have you noticed? So, we have plenty men here. Somebody should talk about this. Let me give doctor. Can you say something?
My own, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. My own area will be divergent, more on the oil and gas sector. And when you were speaking, I was putting myself in the shoes of the oil and gas operator. Over 12 years now, we have been working with them closely, and we have been hearing some particular perception that they have concerning this. And if I'm an oil and gas operator, I will have some concerns, which is, let me just start by painting a picture. An oil and gas operator sometimes work on the rig. Sometimes we have offshore facility, floating storage offloading facility called FPSO, and the FPSO that you can be offshore for like months, for weeks. So my colleagues have been on offshore locations for months. I've been there for close a month, and the understanding that they have, or the understanding that sector, that oil and gas sector has, is that it's a male-dominated field. And they have several reasons why they call it a male-dominated field. Let us start from the faculty of petroleum engineering in the university, or the faculty of engineering generally in the university. On the faculty of engineering, you can see that you have more of male folks than the female. You can just have like 10% female engineers in the class compared to 80% of male folks. And now when you go to the faculty of nursing, you see that you have 70 or 80% of female than male. Now we still have male nurses. But as a man, you would be more comfortable with a female nurse than a male nurse coming to you that they want to give you injection. And like, are you sure you are qualified for this? You will be skeptical. And he is qualified. But sometimes they don't call them doctors, even though they are nurses. Because they feel like the male should be the male should be a doctor, the female should be a nurse. So when even the role even switch the other way around. So we have these preconceived stereotypes in our minds. And coming back to the oil and gas sector, let me just give a recent understanding. So we're nominated to go to total offshore off-on field. Offshore, like let's say how many kilometers away from the military region, they're offshore. And on Jackson 95, that's the name of the vessel. And we're told that it's not a female compliant vessel. Even the chef is not a female. Chef is a male. Why do you say it's not a female compliant vessel? These men will be on the rig on that place for close to 2, 3, 4 months. They do shifts. They can run 3 months shift on and 1 month shift off. Now, these men are honey men. Yes, literally. So it's like having a group of monkeys and throwing one banana in their middle. So yes, that's why they said it's not a female compliant area. That's why most times when they come out from the rig, you see a whole lot of prostitutes waiting at the anchorage with their customers trying to like take them in before they will now go back to their family members, maybe in Lagos or in Abuja. So now that particular environment is already charged with the understanding that is a male-dominated folks. This is what we have, and it's a region that has highest level of safety in terms of oil and gas activity, they take safety very, very, very seriously. That's why they have to comply with the highest level of safety that they feel that they need to comply with. So now, I'm just trying to paint a picture for us, that because I know there's a lot of experts in the field in the house here, so you can also advise us. Because when we recommend to these people, we recommend things that are actionable. We recommend mitigation measures that are realistic. We don't recommend things that is not possible. We recommend smart mitigation measures, and they come to us because we give them approval. And once they comply with all our requirements, we cannot give them approval. So we have the opportunity to mainstream issues like this into their conditions for approval. So we need to have realistic issues. Now, coming to that kind of picture, and now we are trying to sell this particular agenda to them that, okay, you have to make it gender responsive. Okay, now look at their criteria for employment. Okay, this criteria is out there, but in the rig, in the field, in the reality, it might not be practicable. Now, they don't have male and female toilet. They have just one toilet. And you cannot barge into a female restroom. Now, they might want to have you on the rig for 3 months, and maybe you are having menstrual cramp, or you are having hormonal imbalance, or you have taken you are going to go for antenatal, or you have to go for some medical activities, or you are not just in the mood to just do any rigorous job that day. You have KPIs, you have targets. So now, how can we be able to reconcile this sector? This sector you call oil and gas sector, it's not like the industrial sector. It's a different specific field on its own that has those specific challenges. So once we will bring in a whole lot of oil and gas operators into this room now, this is almost similar to what they will tell you that their challenges are. And even the female folks might not be comfortable to go work in that particular area. They will choose to work in the office, or in the sales, or as receptionists, or as regulatory interface. They will not really want to go there. So now we want to report them now that these guys are gender biased. And to them, they have done the necessary procedures, right? But most female folks are not applying for those roles, or they're not comfortable being in the midst of 25 men and you are the only female. You have to be wearing jeans, you have to be very, very rugged, you have to change your soft tool look into a more fierce look. Masculine. Yeah, masculine, so that you can be able to blend in, or to shout back at somebody, or to look fierce and not be taken for granted. Now you have lost that your feminine gentle touch, that you now having issues getting married. Yes, the whole of them engineers, they have issues getting married, getting integrated back into society, because after they have worked all and gas for like 10 years, you come outside, you're like a man. People are even shy to approach you. So we need to look at how we can balance all these areas so that
if you're too soft, sometimes they even write on.
I will pass the microphone for us to have an input, but I would want to say that the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step. You will say some women, I thank God, say some women will prefer to work as a receptionist or whatever. There are some women too that want to get to that. I have friends that are army generals. It's true. They climbing the ladder, they went to war fronts. They fought for Nigeria. So this is that we are seeing people, soldiers getting killed. They send women to war front, and they chisel it out. Yes. So what I'm saying is that as regulators, I wouldn't want us to see the challenges, say, just leave that aside. Let's, even the gas flaring that we have been telling them, stop flaring gas. They are still flaring gas. But in our recommendation, we still put this, reduce it to the barest minimum or whatever. It is there. Your pen is the one speaking for the government. Let it not be that you did not. You remember when I covered the Calabar Super Highway that almost cut my throat? I supervised Calabar Super Highway, very lengthy road that the then governor, Ayade, in short, he passed through a forest reserve, and as a level 10 officer, I covered that project and I met him. I said, sir, that this project passing through a forest, it will not work. He said, just do your work. Yeah. But I came back, as God will have it, I penned down my recommendation that is passing through a forest, that route, that it should not be permitted to pass through that. The EIA should not be issued if they are not ready to change it. That was what saved me. And then, what they call it, some NGOs, CSOs, foreign CSOs, started writing to Buhari, President Buhari then, that they are trying to destroy the forest reserve that have been standing. And then President contacted Minister of Environment then. Minister of Environment contacted the director. Director said, who covered this? Who covered this? My boss denied me. Everybody denied me. And they say it's not right. When I now came, what saved me is what I penned down. So when you go for such IMM, impact mitigation monitoring, or whatever screening, your pen speaks volume. Put it down. Let's start from there. Let them know that this Nigeria is already committed. So if you are in Nigeria, you are drilling Nigeria oil, and there is a host community. I know that they normally submit names to employ hosts, and then when they submit names, they will employ only male, and maybe women will be errands or cleaners or whatever. No, they should also recommend that women too should be part of that list. They should train the women. Developed area and developed country now, you don't even know who is a man or who is a woman. The work you can do, I can do as long as it's paying. So let's not be discouraged. Don't frighten us.
No.
We cannot do this. We can do it.
So let me just ask
Don't wait.
Okay. Let me just finish it first.
I want us to close this.
Yes. The reason why I put on the floor is for us to open the can so we can talk about it. I have my own solutions.
Okay.
I have my own solutions to it. But it's good for us to just
debate about it.
Let us talk about address the elephant in the room.
Yes.
Now, the solution to it is structure. To enhance, to make the work environment conducive for the both genders.
Exactly.
They have already built their industry suitable.
Exactly.
And
Only female.
only male.
Exactly.
They have built it in a way just like if you are working.
And we have left them.
Just like if you are a left-handed person. If you are a left-handed person, you build all your facilities to ensure that towards that left, not towards right, because you are talking about flexibility, or you are blind, you are visually impaired.
Yeah.
You will build your household, your designs will be towards that to enhance your design. So until we address the occupational design within that industry, through policy and through before
data,
you cannot be able to bring in. Because if you carry this,
what is talking about what we did yesterday.
okay. So if we don't address that institutional stereotypes and bureaucracy, we will not be able to fit in this perfect toolkit into it. It will be rejected. So we need to go back to their operational guidelines and their operational way of working and say, okay, no, this corridor need to be bent to this direction. This office we need to have see-through.
And it is doable, right?
It is.
As long as it's doable, it can be changed.
Of course. Thank you very much. In as much as we see these things, okay, we want to make room for this for us in the environment, we also need to re-engineer our minds. We also need to tell women as well, maybe in the form of sensitization, that we can take up these roles. It's not enough to provide these resources and no one is taking care or nobody is taking charge. Like you said earlier, you have major people going for engineering and then lost the other side. No, there's no such thing as that. So we need to re-engineer. We need to start with that mindset. Let us fine-tune it that, okay, you can do these things. And when this is settled, then the environment is already enabling, and then we can settle in. Let me cite an example. Last week, I was privileged to see a document, and is for top financial institutions in the country. They were going to have an election, and then they were going to have 3 delegates from each organization. And I scanned through the documents. I saw names of delegates, and guess what? I didn't see any female name there. That was strange. And then I had to ask the coordinator that what's going on here? Is it that you don't have females in this institution, or what exactly? 3 delegates from each organization, and you have over 100 organizations, and this is a national post. And okay, I'm not even saying, okay, be the president, be the vice president, or be the secretary. No, even as delegates, just ordinary delegates, we didn't have women, no representative of a woman voting and putting her voice out there. So it was strange to me. And I had to talk to him that, no, this thing should not fly. I'm not the focal officer like you said, but I felt I could, exactly, I could talk to that person. And as I speak to you now, they sent a mail that they should include, at least it should be gender. They didn't put gender responsive. They just said gender sensitive, so that at least let there be representation of each gender. How can you tell me you have over 300 delegates to vote and no single woman is on that? We need to read it. And then also we need to, then I realized that even the women didn't speak up. So what is going on? What is going on?
Let me answer that question.
What is this?
You know, we talked about this. Yes.
The women didn't even speak up.
Like the employment example you gave. The employment example you gave. That woman refused to come. Other 7 male came. That employment example you gave.
She did not refuse. You don't know the situation. Let me tell you.
Because
we have been working on series of and this type of issues usually come up. And we agreed that, as government representative, we have a lot we can do. One, talking about having only men, if they have quota. He said quota. And you say, even in our Senate, how many women do we have?
Does the quota restrict women?
You see? So if we have quota, like 40% quota for women, meaning that for this election, whether you like it or not, 40% is kept for a